What is going on, everyone out there in Junkie Nation? Welcome back. It's live from Junkie Nation. I'm your boy Kenshiro. Welcome back to lots of fun and merriment. We're going to be bringing you a great show today, but first, let me introduce who's going to be on the show with me. To my right is Mr. GQ, and he's got a spiffy new set of headphones that he found on the cheap. How much do those cost, man?
More than most people's lives are worth. That's how much these headphones cost.
Damn, that's
So
pretty
in other
cheap.
words, life is cheap.
Very cheap.
Life is phones are quality for the price that I paid. So
Yep.
that's all needs to be said.
All it took was a few sacrificed lives. They weren't really worth much. Krusty, how you doing, darling?
Hi, I'm sick.
What else is new? Of course you're sick. You're
I
pregnant.
know. I suck.
You got this parasite.
Disgusting.
You got this parasite growing up in your inside your body. So of course you're sick.
My crotch fruit is growing.
Moving right along, the great Tadakuji. How you doing there, buddy?
Oh, I've never heard
Crotch
that
fruit.
terminology.
Wow.
I'm doing great. Crotch
fruit.
I would think that was something else, but
Yeah. Let's
okay.
leave that alone, huh? Let's leave it alone. Let's leave it alone. Anyway, guys, we got a really good show for you today, but first we're going to talk about the news. First things first, Mr. GQ, since Krusty is under the weather and she can't do the news and she's not all that reliable doing the news anyway, why don't you take it over for today?
All right, I will take it over. I will be nice this one time in life, and we're going to start off with some, I guess for most would be bad news. Like my man in Spawn said, I only pay attention to news when death is concerned. Billy Paul, the man most best known for singing the song "Me and Mrs. Jones," the adulterous affair. Right. So his adulterous ways and making a married woman cheat. He passed away today. It's weird. I mean, 2016 is either collecting contracts or it is just an evil force of nature that has been right. So,
Cashing in them
with
chips.
Right. So with Mr. Paul's death, I think we're starting off a new chain of three, perhaps. So, because of course, Prince and China died last week, along with one of the producers from the James Bond films, and also, what is her name? Doris Roberts. She passed
Yeah.
away as well. So I guess technically, Mr. Paul might be number two in a chain if you include that James Bond producer. So we've got some interesting things going on there. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's got their time that they got to go, and you got to go. So moving on to a more comedic thing, and yet another opportunity to poke fun at Batman v Superman. They recently surpassed domestically. They passed up Iron Man 1 and 2's domestic take
Woo!
for their theatrical runs.
Woo! Yes.
Right. I mean, I wish Kahuna
Yes.
was here to give them their applause because
Yes.
it's like you passed up
That's an
a
accomplishment.
C-list. Right, you passed up a C-list Marvel character's first movie and film outing with two of the biggest comic book icons of all time throwing down,
All
and
time.
that's something to celebrate.
Yep.
What you got, man?
why are you celebrating that at all? That Batman vs Superman should have definitely, and hopefully I don't have to talk about this anymore, should have done astronomical numbers because it's Batman and Superman. But when you have Goyer and Schneider screwing stuff up, you get
hmm
what you
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying this for forever, and it's like you always get bashed. I always get bashed by people for saying it. It's like, why are y'all touting the money that it's making on its slow crawl up to $1 billion? Dude, this is Batman vs Superman. They should have blown by all of these records by now. As it stands right now, just so we can quickly get off of this topic, because I am beyond tired of talking about it. It is currently worldwide got $851 million, and the amount of theaters that it is in right now has dropped another 59.8%. It's only in 3,505 theaters nationwide right now. That number isn't going any higher, so the number it's taking in is going to just keep getting lower. It's not getting to $1 billion, people. Sorry, and certainly not getting to $1 billion within 7 days. Isn't that right, GQ? We're waiting for 7 days for this
Yes,
thing to
sir.
end, and then we're going to invite a couple of really good friends onto our show and have them explain this travesty that that we've got going on here.
Hold on. In defense of one of them, he actually never said that it would make $1 billion by the end of the month.
Okay,
The other
all right.
gentleman
The other
was
gentleman did. Okay.
adamant that it would just cruise to $1 billion.
Hey.
And we're sitting here at the tortoise in the hair right now, and
right?
But,
They ain't no jetpack in that shell.
But I think we had one last nugget of news, and it is also comic book related, comic book film related. X-Men: Age of Apocalypse has dropped yet another trailer. Now we're getting to the point where Fox Marvel, I'm going to call them Fox Marvel because they're not Marvel Studios proper. They are dropping a few too many trailers on this Apocalypse movie, trying to bring people in and get them excited. And they've dropped the Canadian knucklehead 5'3", translated to a 6' something Australian Krusty loves him Hugh Jackman is as Wolverine has possibly showing. He's not even possibly. He is showing up in the movie. Claws. Now, here's the thing I like. I do like that all they showed was claws. Very, very reminiscent of the original X-Men trailer when, like, one of the last shots was this Wolverine's claws popping out. So, I'll give them props on the callback. But, again, should have just let us get to the theater and then, dang, Wolverine's in this? There you go. Because now you got that. Now you got the jaded fans that are tired of seeing Wolverine in every single X-Men movie.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. To me, I'm tired of them. King Tiakim, number 83, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoy it. Please do give us a follow and be ready to chime in when we start talking about other stuff. But man, why do they keep doing this? These trailers, they just keep showing too much. It's almost like they can't help themselves. Like that Spider-Man thing.
Watching them.
Yeah, that Spider-Man thing, they could have held that. Can you imagine the applause when Spider-Man had showed up? I mean, even though we've seen Civil War already, but still, him being there, like if you had seen him when, yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, no, seriously. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, again, it gave it huge buzz. It's one of those, like, I honestly would have just let it be just the web grabbing and you don't actually see him. But I mean, even in the theater, I mean, true enough, we saw it in a theater of obvious fans because they were there for that, 3-week early premiere. You knew when it was going to be Spider-Man on screen just from the title card they threw up. So, I mean, it's the fans are very smart nowadays as far as knowing what clues point to what. So I agree though. I mean, they could have kept something for the theater and they don't have to show us everything in the trailer. Now, the way these trailers are edited for the X-Men films, you really honestly do not know what's going on. You just know Apocalypse is there, Psylocke, Storm, or Angel, and the Magneto are on his side, and boom, let's just mix it all in there. It's in the blender, and there you go. It doesn't have any true cohesiveness or even continuity to the flow of that trailer because you're like, damn, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I don't know how it all fits together. So at least you have that working in their favor.
I guess, and we're gonna go see Age of Apocalypse in the theater for certain. I'm still not excited really to see it. I'm just not. I like Days of Future Past, but this one, I don't know. We'll have to see. But as
I'm more excited than I am Batman versus Superman. I can tell you that. And this is for me before Batman versus Superman came out. I had no expectations whatsoever.
Now, King Akeem does say. King Takim in the chat does say it's Attack of Clones all over again when they showed Yoda pop his saber in the trailer. They could have kept that, but that was pretty badass. I have to admit. I might give them a pass on the Yoda thing. Well, what do you say, GQ?
Oh, you're talking about an Attack of the Clones?
Yeah, the Attack of the Clones trailer
they actually did. I don't remember which. I don't think any of the trailers showed that. That was a TV spot after the movie had come out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I can buy that.
That wasn't. Yeah, that was one of those. Yeah, they didn't show that Yoda was going to fight until the movie actually came out. Then they came up with a TV spot that was really basically all about kind of Yoda and being the man basically. So I understand where he's saying that you shouldn't have even seen that anywhere. Yeah. But that was after I think a week or 2 or 3 after the movie was already out. So I mean, it's kind of like everybody already knows Yoda gets down.
Yeah.
like a little ping pong ball in
Yeah.
that particular
Yeah.
fight. But
Yeah.
you know,
That was pretty cool to see, I have to admit, though. So okay, thank you for the news, everybody, and for your comments. So let's move on to talk about the fantastic reappearance or season premiere of Game of Thrones that came on last night, and a lot of us were really excited to find out what was going to happen to all of our favorite characters. How was Cersei and Jaime Lannister gonna exact their revenge on the Dorns now that now their daughter is dead. How's Arya gonna cope with being blind? Is Jon Snow really dead? What happens to Theon slash Reek and Sansa? You know, do they escape? Do they get caught? Lots of really good juicy stuff to kind of get into. And we got some of our questions answered. Is Jon Snow dead? Yeah, he is dead. He is dead. Here's the thing: will he stay dead? And one of the things I want to bring up, and Krusty, join me. You read the books?
Yes.
Have you read the books?
I have read the books. I don't remember anything though. It was like years ago.
Okay. Well, I haven't.
I plan to reread them.
Okay, you plan to reread them, yeah. I haven't read them, and kind of clue some of us in that maybe you can recall some of your knowledge. But what was up with Melisandre and taking off the necklace, and then all of a sudden the glamour that she had on herself, and she went like super ancient old, and they showed old lady boobies. Yeah, I didn't want to see that,
Don't
but
forget
yeah,
her
yeah.
saggy munch lips.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, I was trying to predict that. Yeah. Anyway, so go ahead and fill us in on that.
She is, everyone knows she's in that god of light nonsense. She's actually hundreds of years old. I think she's a couple, like 2 centuries, maybe 3 centuries years old.
Really?
She has the magic in a jewel in her necklace. So when she took the necklace off, it was supposed to show that she has wavering faith in the god of light. Because
really, her faith is shook, huh?
Yeah, because you remember earlier seasons, the guy was like, "Don't you ever sleep? Don't you ever, eat or do this?" She was like, "No, the god of light supplies me with everything that I need," which was in a jewel. So when she took the necklace off, it pretty much showed that,
she doesn't want to be the red. She doesn't want to be the red priestess anymore.
Well, maybe she's just questioning her faith.
Okay, maybe she's questioning. Okay, I can see that. And then she, she goes over there and she crawls into bed and goes to sleep. Now, usually when that happens, with old people disrobing and getting into bed, it's almost like they're going off to die. So I'm wondering if she's dying. And I saw a theory out there that's saying that she's sacrificing her life to give it to Jon Snow by looking in the mirror. I thought that was really weird that she was kind of like just staring in the mirror the way that she was. So I don't know what the significance of that was. So maybe Jon Snow will come back in that manner, which would be pretty odd because I know Jon Snow is a super popular character, and a lot of people will be sad to see him go. You included.
I mean, but Melisandre is the ultimate catfish. Just trying to throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
She lying to all these dudes.
Yeah, she did. Like thinking that she was like this super
Hold on,
hot.
So you said she's.
Go ahead.
She's a couple of centuries old.
Couple of centuries old.
Yeah.
You said she's a couple. Yeah, see, that's why I stopped looking and paying attention after they hit 50. I mean, seriously?
It wasn't pretty, bro. It was not pretty at all. It was not pretty at all. Oh, anyway.
I remember my husband got excited when she took her clothes off. He was
I did too.
Yeah,
I did too. And then she took that jewel off. She was like, "Oh no!" Yeah. I felt the same way. I totally felt the same way. In any case,
who's the actress that plays her? Is it that chick that was Captain Phasma or Phasma? Or...
No. She's Brienne of Tarth. Yeah, we'll get to her later.
Okay.
King Takeem says she thought Stannis was the chosen one. He sucked. She thought it was Jon. He gets shanked. She's depressed as hell. Yeah, I can see that. So in any case, but no, who plays her? I'll get that to you and I'll come back.
I know her actress is like 40-something years old.
Yeah, she's really good looking. Carice Van Houten. Yeah. Carice Van Houten. Yeah.
How old is she?
She's
Sofia
40.
Vergara?
I need to go to
No,
the
she's not
gym.
Sofia Vergara, man. No.
Then she's not an attractive older person. Continue.
Oh my god.
This guy. Anyway, let's move on. The other kind of thing that I was kind of really excited to find out about, other than Arya, was what happened to Theon and Sansa. You know how they were going to get away from Roose Bolton and Roose Snow. And they did actually manage to land the jump, and they're getting away. But you know, Roose's hounds catch up to them, and just as they're getting ready to get captured, Brienne and her squire come and rescue them, and then Brienne pledges her allegiance to serve Sansa once again, just like her mother always intended. So I was pretty stoked to find that, to see that happen. How'd you feel about it, Krusty? Why'd your face stuck
I was
like
pretty
that?
excited.
Why's your face stuck like that? Your face is like terminally stuck. Your face is terminally stuck like that. I don't know. Something's going on in the video.
I don't know. I can see my face moving.
Yeah, turn off your camera and turn it back on, because man, your face is stuck. I almost
Ew,
kind of don't want you to do that, man. I wish you could see it. It looks awesome. Everybody see that?
Thanks.
Yeah, look at this.
Look at it.
This. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. Machinima 0410. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, sir. Appreciate it.
What was the question?
What was the question? The question was, how did you feel about Brienne and her squire swooping in to save?
My god.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was excited.
Yeah.
And I was kind of scared for Podrick. So I was like, if Podrick dies right now, this is going to be a problem. And my face is still stuck, so that's good.
Your face is still stuck. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I was pretty happy. I was happy to see Captain Phasma on the screen once again.
But not in that stupid chrome stormtrooper helmet. Yeah.
I liked it. But I knew Brienne wasn't gonna die. She ain't gonna die.
Yeah, no. She's another one of those really popular characters that I don't think that they can possibly part with. I mean, and here's something I've always kind of wondered too. I know, TV adaptations are always not necessarily always completely faithful to the literary works of which they're based. So that makes me wonder if Brienne was to die in the books, if they wouldn't just say, "Oh, screw that. We're not gonna do that. We need her to be around. Let's keep that. You look like poo. You do kind of look like poo. Or you look like you're taking a poo. Maybe I should say that.
Oh boy. Pregnancy constipation.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, I wonder what's next for them, because I know they were saying Sansa was asking about Arya and where she is, and we'll get to her next. But I'm wondering if they're gonna head for Winterfell now that they've been rescued, and have Sansa take it back over. But even if they do take it back over, there's like no way. They don't even really have a fighting army. Oh, maybe they will go to the wall looking for Jon Snow, like Theon had said. Maybe they'll go to the wall.
And if they go to Winterfell, Ramsay's just gonna come get them again.
True, very true.
So there's no point.
Even though
I'm mad that the book isn't out. That's why. Like first, when I was reading the books, I had some idea what was gonna happen. Because the show is gonna be different from the book a little bit.
Of course.
But now she's like, now I feel like one of those plebs who never read the book. And now I have all of my faith on the next episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, now you're stuck with the rest of the people, the unwashed.
I feel dirty.
The unwashed masses.
You should feel dirty. Exactly.
What I missed?
Not a whole lot.
I missed Game of Thrones. That's what I missed because I didn't watch it.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never watched the show, but I did take a peek at the recap of the other seasons because I knew they were gonna do that at the beginning of the season 6 premiere. And the show does look interesting. I mean, I love sword and sorcery. I like, gladiator killing folks and family
naked
intrigue
women
and whatever. It depends on if they're attractive. But I mean, realistically, it's like I like all of the death and the destruction and all that. But then they put dragons in it, so I like dragons since I was born in the year of the dragon. But there's all sorts of interesting things going on. But it's at season 6, so I'm not about to binge watch 5 seasons. So they'll just have to wait.
It's worth it though.
Eventually, but not right now.
Okay. Uh, I'm still upset that Bran wasn't in
in that first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, because like,
But
where is this kid?
yeah, obviously we're gonna get to see him next episode according to the preview. So moving right along,
Yeah.
let's get to Arya Stark. She didn't appear a lot in this episode. She's still blind. She's looks like she's been thrown out of the order because she's like living on the street. But at the same time, that girl that was what was her trainer or something like that. The one that was kind of teaching her the ways of the order, found her on the street and started to basically beat the shit out of her with a quarterstaff, like a poor defenseless blind girl. And I guess this is the next step in her training or something like that. Now she's going to become Rutger Hauer in Blind Justice or something like that.
She's going to be the Daredevil of GOT.
Yeah, there you go. The Daredevil of GOT. Yeah, exactly. So I was a little disappointed we didn't see more of what's going on with her. So I guess it's going to be a slow burn a little bit with Arya. You already said we didn't see Bran. So let's go ahead and get to
Hodor.
No Hodor. Yep. Although I really don't care about Hodor, so whatever.
What?
It was nice to see Ghost again. I have to admit, because Ghost was pretty sparse last season. But in any case, let's get to Daenerys. She's obviously been.
Did you say Stark?
Sorry.
Did you say
what
Stark?
Yes.
You said Stark.
Yes, Stark.
Really?
That's the family name. That's the family name, Arya Stark.
Oh, sweet. So we're getting like all that information about the early Starks and whatnot before Tony
not quite the same Stark.
Oh my God, he's descendant.
Yeah, he's not a descendant of Westeros. I'm sorry. No, that's
How
not.
do you know?
That's
how do you know?
Because Marvel doesn't own it. That's why.
Doesn't matter. Marvel came out. I'm sorry. Marvel came out.
Blind Fury. Thank you. Thank you. Blind Fury.
Isn't that rich?
Yeah.
Before Game of Thrones came out with their Stark, Marvel already had Tony Stark. So technically,
no, technically, no.
Yep,
no. Let's move on to our great Khaleesi, Daenerys Targaryen. She obviously got captured by the Dothraki horde. Is getting possibly trained to be or she was about to become a slave, and then she kind of kept herself under wraps. I mean every single man in that horde that was riding by her, smacking her ass, just saying, oh man, I can't wait to get a piece of you, I'm gonna ask to lay with you tonight. I mean they were ready to run trains on her. And then she starts speaking Dothraki and says, I'm the widow of Khal Drogo, and everybody shut up. Everybody shut up. They were like, we didn't know. Sorry. Nobody will touch you now.
This is awkward.
Yeah. Nobody's going to touch you now. I did not know that. But, of course, it's not so easy to escape that Dothraki horde because they're saying they're not going to take her anywhere but, what is the city they said they had to take her?
Ace Dothrak, I think?
Ace Dothrak or something like that, yeah. Ace Dothrak with all the widows, yeah, with all the widows of the fallen riders. So that's not going to be good. But at least Sir Barristan is looking for her, and they're getting pretty close. They don't seem like they're that far behind, which is I find very amazing, seeing as how Drogon flew her pretty far. And they managed to catch up to him that quick. I wonder where he is, by the way. I wonder where he is, because he obviously wasn't just laying there. It'd be nice to see him.
Drogon?
Yeah, Drogon. It'd be nice to wonder where he is. Yeah, he always has been. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where he is. And of course, finally the last thing, Tyrion and starts with a V. I forget his name.
Viserys,
yeah, something like that. They're going to be, ruling over Marine and trying to find out, who the Harpies, Sons of the Harpy.
Yeah,
trying to find out, trying to find out who's running the Sons of the Harpy. There's not much movement there. And then also, seeing the grief over Cersei and Jaime losing Myrcella, and the coup in Dorne. Old girl has finally made her move and usurped the throne. Has usurped the throne.
They are messing up Dorne.
Yeah. Has pretty much used. I mean, dude, that is a beautiful country. I ain't gonna front. That's a beautiful country. It's supposed to be like Spain,
safe place
I think.
from the White Walkers.
Yeah,
Spain.
Yeah.
Only safe place from the White Walkers, and this lady all going crazy with it.
Mm-hmm. It's like
so
no weak men are going to rule Dorne ever again. Oh, okay.
I hate her so much. Last season with her daughters was like the most horrible scene. Every scene with her 3 little daughters was just like, okay.
Dude, those chicks are vicious, man. I mean, look at what they did to. What was that? Was that their cousin? A cousin that they killed on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, put a spear right through my man's face. And you know what? When dude turned his back, I said, dude is dead. I said, he's such an idiot. How you gonna turn your back to her? And I knew right away, spear gonna be right through his face, and that's exactly what happened, man. It was pretty gruesome.
Right when he was painting, the eyes that they put on their dead before they burn them. I was like, he was painting that for his little, for his
fiance, yeah.
And then he gets killed. I was like, that sucks.
Yeah, that did kind of suck. Because but it was a good. I thought it was a really good first episode. Definitely can't wait to see more. What are you looking forward to for this season of Game of Thrones, Krusty?
This season, I want to know what happens to Jon. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. I want Jon Snow to come back. I want the Red Lady to sex him back to life and catfish him. I don't know, but it needs to happen.
Well, what happens if he stays dead? Then what are you gonna do?
I'm scared he's gonna become a White Walker.
So they got you on the hook.
Exactly what can happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jon Snow cannot be a White Walker. Jon Snow is a good guy.
That don't mean nothing.
Exactly.
That don't mean nothing at all.
In my heart, it means something.
Then you'll just have
Jon Snow has sexy hair too. You can't have sexy hair and be a bad guy.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Not in my heart.
It doesn't matter about your heart. Your heart does not represent the.
H. John's 32 says. H. John's 32 says he has to turn into a White Walker. That would be awesome, and it would be kind of cool.
Cannot.
It would be kind of cool.
I mean, but
just because you don't want it, it should happen.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Anybody that doesn't like Batman the Animated Series, their opinion does not matter.
Yeah, your opinion is mute. So, what do you guys out there in Junkie Nation think about this episode of Game of Thrones? And real quick before we come, Junkie Land, excuse me. You see, you're gonna make me change the damn name of the show, and I don't want to do that. Anyway,
just give somebody else our business. Then.
Yeah. But I thought it was a pretty good first episode of Game of Thrones. I definitely can't wait for the next one to come out. Looks like the war between the church and looks like actually the Lannisters are going to be fighting more on two fronts. They're going to be fighting Dorne, and they're also going to be fighting the church in King's Landing. I fully expected that to happen after Cersei's Shane walk last season, and how great was that, by the way? I mean, that bell, Shane, ding, that, oh man, that was great. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, no. I mean, I'm just saying the whole shame walk thing where she was walking the shame, and old girl was ringing that bell, ding ding, shame, ding ding, shame, ding ding. I was like, man, that was great. It was great, and everybody was throwing shit all over her and stuff like that.
Luthor at the end of Batman v Superman.
Oh no. See, she was walking completely naked down the entire street, and people were just throwing shit at her. Like, I mean, throwing food.
Literal shit.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, but
literal shit.
Here's the other thing. Like Penguin said, what if somebody always brings eggs and tomatoes to a speech?
No, they were bringing feces. They were bringing feces to it too.
And they were pissing on her.
I saw the recap.
Yeah.
It looked interesting.
Yeah.
Lena Headey looks weird with short blonde hair.
She does.
But whatever.
She does. She does. She totally does. Anyway.
It's time for the goodness.
Yes, it's time for the goodness. It's time to move on to the villains. The villains. And this is going to...
But I think you forgot one thing that was really important that happened over the weekend. We had our first winner for our contest.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. Our first contest winner for the Captain America Civil War contest that we ran for the past couple weeks. If you didn't enter, shame on you. You definitely need to pay attention next time. We'll try and make it a little bit. I don't know if it was just people were afraid to do it, or they didn't know how to do it, or they just didn't want to do it. How could you not want to do it? 5 seconds of your time, win free tickets. Anyway, Mr. Larry Wigfall, who entered the contest on Instagram and likes us on Facebook fan page, is our contest winner. We're in contact with Larry right now. He's excited to win the dinner and the movie tickets. He's also excited to win the 3 free T-shirts. And we want to thank him and everybody that entered the contest. It was a lot of fun putting it on for you. Look out for another contest coming down the pipe fairly soon. I don't know exactly what it will be, but we're going to come up with something else fun that we can do for you to kind of show you our appreciation for you being fans of us. So anyway, let's move right on to the villains. And as I was saying, the villains, to close out our villains week, we're going to do the best anime villains of all time. And what I want to do it as a this is what I'm going to Hand of Omega, welcome to the show. Yes, we did talk about Game of Thrones and you just missed it. And what I want to quantify is what qualifies as a villain. There's lots of villains in anime. You could consider Boo a villain. You could consider H. John's 32 just threw Broly. You could think of Broly as a villain. You could think of Frieza as a villain. You could think of Gendo Ikari as a villain. You could think of M. Bison as a villain. You could think of Akuma as a villain, maybe, if you wanted to. But here's what I want to quantify as a villain. Yes, Hand of Omega, the contest is over now. What I want to quantify as a villain is a dude that at the end of the day, you're just like, man, fuck that dude. Like, really, the completely irredeemable sack of crap. Just a dude that you just really just cannot stand. Just hate.
Superman.
Not an anime villain, but
doesn't matter. The way you're describing your
a villain in the truest sense. They all know what we mean. There's a hero, and there's a villain. So Hooper Love 23 says Akira. From Akira the Otomo film. I don't know about that one. So let's start off with a few. Krusty, let's start with you. Who do you have as a villain?
Okay. So I watch a lot of girly anime. So everybody knows that. So one of mine would be Akito from this show called Fruits Basket.
Really?
In the manga, it's a girl, and the anime, it's a boy. But the dude was a total boo-boo crumb, and I hated him every time they talked about him. I'm just like, this guy, I hope he dies. Which they're supposed to, yeah. So anyway, and another one, which is from I guess a regular anime, would be that Tucker guy from Full Metal Alchemist who turned his daughter. Nina
Yeah, I kept seeing him.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Yeah,
and, in fact, I'm gonna actually go and see if I can pull up some of the ones that were on that list. So please do go ahead.
Wow, that guy was. I could not believe that, and he was
a total douche pickle.
That
douche pickle.
Yes,
douche pickle. Yeah, here we go. Show. Hold on a second. 1 second. No, keep going on. What was it that made this dude so bad again?
The Tucker?
Yeah, here he is. Show Tucker. In order to keep
his daughter Nina into a chimera, mix it with the family dog.
Yep, with their family dog. Show Tucker was an alchemist who didn't kill anybody. And the only reason he's on the list is because he turned his daughter and their dog into a chimera, and the life of the chimera was nothing but pain and confusion and betrayal. I mean, that's just terrible. As a father, that's just unbelievably terrible. Unbelievably terrible. That's disgusting.
Hold on. Did the chimera serve a purpose?
No, it just lived in pain.
Did he do it on purpose, or was it for a reason?
No, he did.
He did it on purpose. Because he was a douche. A douche pickle and a douche canoe.
Didn't kill anybody though.
No, he didn't.
He kind of ended his daughter's life because when was it Scar that got to her, or I forgot who.
Yeah, it was him. The Scar dude.
Scar basically friggin' ended her life, but yeah, that's still what he did was just fucked up, man.
Yeah.
And she was like, and apparently she was in so much pain, so she saw Al, or was it Al or the other one? And she was like, "Brother, why am I in so much pain?" And I'm just like, "Why? Why me?"
But she had the dog with her all the time. That was some comfort.
Yeah. Try telling yourself that.
Stop talking, Chris.
Yeah, stop. Okay, let's move on. Dadakuji, who do you have as a couple of villains that you want to?
Well, it took me a long time to try to even come up with some of these people just because it's in my brain. There's been so much anime that I watch and trying to recall like people who are just king douches like that is very difficult. But one that's more recent to my mind is Don Flamingo, Don Quixote from One Piece. He was the last villain in the story arc of Dressrosa, if I remember correctly. And not only did he come into a kingdom, and because of his power with the devil fruit that he has, where he can have these strings that can control people, he framed the king and his army to go around and kill a lot of people. Took over the friggin' the country, became the new king, turned tons of citizens into toys, and they forget who the heck, like the people who loved them forget that they even existed. But then when it came to his plan getting found out, where he put a what do you call that thing? His string cage, he called it the bird cage, over the island, and did it again, where he took all the citizens and connected them to the strings where they would fight each other and kill each other. They had no choice over who they were going to kill. So women, kids, whatever, if you got in the way, you were getting killed. And basically just laughed the whole way. Yeah. Like his plan was gonna work.
He looks like a crazy bastard.
Yeah, he was kind of fucked up. I mean, really fucked up. I mean, the thing is, because there's his backstory in One Piece, you have these people, and I forget their name, but they're basically they're called like the Dragon something, where like everybody holds them in high regard. The freaking Navy holds them, or the Marines hold them in high regard. Like if anybody, they can do whatever the hell they want, literally do whatever they want, and nobody can freaking oppose them. And when he was a kid, his dumbass father, didn't want to be a part of that life anymore. But of course he did. He killed his father when he was a friggin' a kid because his father was fucking, in his eyes, was an idiot. He killed his brother, his only brother that he had, that got freaking kicked out of the that family with him. He was not a good guy at all. He was fucking evil as shit. Not at all.
Not at all.
But it was interesting. I haven't finished watching that because I'm waiting for One Piece to come up with a lot more episodes. I keep getting caught up, and I gotta wait months before I start watching it again.
Look, man, One Piece is that one show I don't think I'll ever even attempt to watch. It's got just way too many episodes.
It's way too many episodes. I started years ago. It's probably been 10 years.
Yeah. I wanted to try it, but it's just like it's like with Fairy Tail. Like I started to watch Fairy Tail the other day, and it's like, I kind of like it. It's funny, but at the same time, it's just like I don't know if I'm going to be able to last with it, because
it's not as many episodes. It's not even close, dude. I think they only have 100 episodes.
Okay, but still, that's a lot of episodes. I mean, but you got to dedicate yourself to watching that show for real, because it's like Naruto, is like ridiculously long. Dragon Ball was ridiculously long, and now it's started up again. But at least I'm already so far ahead in those shows, I can still keep up with it. Starting from scratch with One Piece, no.
It's not that bad. Yeah, I managed to do that. I picked it up when it came out on friggin' Netflix, and that's how I watched most of it, was on Netflix and then Crunchyroll, because they only had like 20 some odd episodes on Netflix, and then I picked the rest up on Crunchyroll and just been going from there. But
right,
teach their own.
Now, I don't know if anybody was going to mention them, but we got a couple in the chat. Of course, Broly has been mentioned a couple of times. Naruto has the Uchihas. Take your pick. You got Madara Uchiha, who wants to basically take over the world and put it to sleep for forever. But Hannah of Omega says Itachi takes the cake because his genjutsu can keep people like in a mind rape for like days in their perspective, which is really only seconds in the real world, which is kind of crazy. Sasuke is a villain too, for trying to murder Sakura in cold blood. Yeah, okay. Well, GQ, let's get
Wait,
to
he
you.
tried to murder her? I thought they were in love or something.
No,
That doesn't come
Sakura,
until later.
What?
That doesn't come
Sakura
until
loves
later.
him.
Sakura
He
loves him.
He just uses her.
Yeah, well, see,
I thought they were
okay,
gonna have like little babies.
that does happen.
does
That
happen.
does happen later, but in the midst of the Naruto story, he really couldn't give a shit about her. He was going to kill her
Wait,
numerous
so
times.
you said
All he wanted to do was
love
kill
thing
his brother and
happens
get
later.
power to kill his brother. That's all.
Oh yeah,
he wanted.
it happens later after you know the whole.
So after
thing
he
is-
tries to kill her. they
Oh yeah, she still wants him. She still wants him.
Oh my god, she needs therapy.
Dude.
You guys can go on.
I hate her.
I hated
can,
Sakura because
I
of that, 'cause she's a
hate
fucking idiot.
Sakura. I think she is
You're
terrible.
fucking idiot.
I
She
hate
was
her.
a fucking idiot.
I hate her. I've always hated her. She's useless and
I
She
thought she was
was. She
strong.
was useless.
I don't watch the show. People are
She
like, oh,
was
she's stronger
useless.
now.
But she became a lot more useful when she started to train under Tsunade.
Tsunade.
Yeah.
Whatever,
She
bro.
became a lot more useful because she basically got the powers of Tsunade, where she was able to, you know, be
super
extremely strong
and all this stuff.
all
Yeah,
that other
she's
stuff.
still
Yeah.
useless. She's still useless. Anyway,
Okay,
GQ.
another. Sorry.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah, go on. I'll just ask later.
Okay, all right. GQ, do you got a villain? I mean, I know you're not a big time anime watcher, but you got a villain you want to kind of bring up?
King Rao.
King
Yeah.
Rao. Yeah, King Rao.
Listen,
That's
you
my
know,
dude. That's my dude,
Basically,
man.
basically, essentially conquered the world. You know, to that point until his younger brother showed up and
Mhm.
started to get all in his Kool-Aid and mess things up.
Still, Ra whooped his ass.
Yep.
No, I know he did, but I mean, and they lost buckets of blood while doing it. And then he, you know, limps off while bleeding out, and then somehow survived. But whatever. That movie got ridiculous at the end. We all know it, but it was still a fun ride.
Yep.
He wasn't really so much a villain in the sense that he, you know, was more or less just looking for an honorable fight. But I'm gonna say Utsutsu Moshiro from Ninja Scroll,
Yes.
because I didn't like Genma because he slept with men, so you kind of banned yourself off of my list with that. And then all the other devils were kind of weak, but like Moshiro actually would have killed Jubei
If it wasn't for
not
Kagero.
lucky intervention.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Kagero.
Right, because he was handling them both. Like,
Talking about the blind swordsman?
Yep.
yes, dude.
That's him.
Yeah.
And like I said, and I liked his whole intro. It's like you're thinking like, how are they climbing up here with this little fishing line? What is it attached to? You just see him at the top of the cliff, just standing there, one-handed, holding both of their weight. I'm like, this dude must be just a badass.
Oh, yeah.
Then they go into that forest fight, and it's just like, oh yeah, dude just closes his eyes, just lets it all sink in. I'm like, yep, that's my dude. He's just awesome, but not really a villain in the traditional sense, though.
No.
Yeah. It wasn't even Kagura's help, though, because it wasn't like she put that there on purpose, knowing it was gonna.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just blind. It was just fucking dumb luck.
Yeah, exactly. Like he would have won that fight with like no real problem at all.
Yeah, you totally would have.
Like you said, luck of where her sword got stuck. But a couple of honorable mentions, I would say my man from Tenjo Tenge, I guess he was the senior. I forgot what his name was, but like basically whipped like Bob and the main character's ass.
The one that Maya was in love with. Is that the dude? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I forgot his name, but he was.
I forgot his name too.
And I'd also have to say from Macross, Minmay would be the worst person. So,
I could take that. I could
like
take
I said,
that.
I mean, I'm old school with mine. You guys know how I go.
Yeah.
I mean, I will catch up on some of the new stuff. I'll probably, hook up on Crunchyroll.
Dude, you know what? I gotta give you my password to my Plex, because since it's free on PlayStation 4 now, so you can actually watch anything I've got. You got to watch those Berserk movies. Those things are great. They are really good.
I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
You'd like the Berserk movies.
Yeah, the Berserk
really
movies are
violent. And
really violent.
There's really no good people in it because Guts is not a good guy.
Yeah. Nope.
He is not a good guy. I mean, you can almost call him a villain when he was part of the Hawks.
Yeah. Griffith was almost halfway a good guy, and then anyway, actually, let me get to some of mine, and you kind of stole my thunder. Number one with a bullet in my book is definitely Griffith slash Femto, in from Berserk. That dude is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in anime. Dude sacrificed his entire band to ascend to godhood, and after they were being slaughtered, took his best friend's pregnant girl, stripped her naked, and raped her right in front of him and strapped him down so he could not move.
Oh boy!
Made him
stared at
watch.
him right in the eyes.
Stared at him while he was
What anime
doing
is
it.
this?
Berserk.
Stared at him while he was doing it. I was like, and you could just see Guts was just going insane when this was happening, man. It was incredible. It was incredibly powerful, and it just like literally made you hate this dude. Like I'm like that was one of the first dudes in anime I ever said, man, fuck that dude for real, because he is. I don't care what GQ says. We were talking before the pre-show, saying everybody's redeemable. Not him. He is not redeemable. Sorry. No. Dude needs to die. He's a Griffith slash Femto.
I like Griffith better than Femto.
Yeah. Well, Femto is his new name.
His god name.
Yeah. The demon.
Yeah. Femto is his god name. So anyway, and I got a couple more that I'm going to mention. One that was mentioned just recently in the chat. Sosuke Aizen from Bleach.
Yeah, I can see that.
Everybody hates Aizen. How about you, Krusty? Do you like Aizen? Or you hate Aizen because he's so pretty, but he's a bad guy?
First, I liked him. And I kind of just stopped watching Bleach because it was filler after filler.
Oh, girl, like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Ain't nobody got
time. So I liked
that.
him,
yeah,
but I haven't gotten to the point where I can hate him. You know what I mean?
All right, fair enough.
I ain't got time for that.
And definitely one that nobody in the chat has mentioned is Gendo Ikari.
See, I thought about mentioning him, but I was trying to just remember what he did. He was an asshole to his son. He loved everybody else.
Dude wanted to basically wipe out humanity to make his perfect world and almost bring his...
Oh, that was the whole plot.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I watched that.
Yeah.
That is a noble cause.
Noble cause!
If gone about by the right way. Think about it. He's basically trying to make it so there's probably no war, no conflict, no issues, and no problems. So if you have to kill off the majority of humanity to do that,
I think everybody died at the end of Eva, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did.
Well, like I said, Evangelion has one part that I like, and that's it. Like one.
That would be Eva Unit 3 being beaten to ripped to shreds by Eva Unit 1. Would that be it?
Yeah, with blood
flying everywhere. Everywhere.
That was the only part of that anime I liked. The rest of it could just go to hell. Whatever.
Hand of Omega in the chat actually brought up one. Kurokami 723, thank you for chiming in. He or she, I don't know, I can't tell, brought up Naraku from Inuyasha. It's fairly evil. Light Yagami from Death Note. Light was different because it was almost like a slippery slope. It was like you get the Death Note and you're using it for noble causes, as GQ will probably say. You're only writing up criminals. You're only wiping out criminals, and then a detective kind of catches on to his scheme, so he offs the detective, and then he advances to just killing people that are already in jail and just
that's opposing him. No, he used to start killing people that could oppose him.
Oh, okay.
Until Hell came along.
Right. See, so dude was using the Death Note indiscriminately at all. I mean, he was just dead. And I know there's supposed to be there's one from Dave Caldwell, father in Full Metal Brotherhood. I know that there's supposed to be a live action adaptation for Death Note. Starring one of the Jonas Brothers, which... I thought you were
talking about the Japanese
one.
No, yeah. There's American adaptation for Death Note, and it's supposed to be starring one of the Jonas Brothers. I don't know which one. I don't care.
You just made me go soft hearing about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Wow. Thanks. Okay. A couple of people in the chat are bringing up Hama Yujiro from Grappler Baki.
I wouldn't call that guy
I wouldn't
a
call
villain,
him a villain.
just because he just wanted to be the strongest. You got in his way. You know, he'd kill you because you just weren't strong enough.
Right.
Exactly. He's essentially Akuma.
Yeah, he is. I mean, because literally, if you cannot oppose him, he's indifferent towards you. He doesn't even pay you any attention. So it's not like he's going out indiscriminately just beating people up. Or just.
What were you saying?
Someone also said Naraku from Inuyasha.
Yeah, I mentioned.
Dude.
Yeah, Naraku was pretty bad. Yeah, I mentioned Naraku.
What a jerk.
What about Izaya and Durarara?
I haven't got far enough in Durarara to know who that is. I've watched the first episode.
Okay. All right,
I got it in my queue. Here's somebody for you. It's kind of going a little bit back. Shishio Makoto.
Shishio Makoto. I love Shishio. Just because. Kenshin, that arc in Rurouni Kenshin, that arc in Rurouni Kenshin was probably my favorite.
And that was the death of Kenshin for me.
Yeah.
After the Shishio arc.
Yeah, after the Shishio arc, the anime pretty much went right downhill right afterwards. So, I mean, there was nothing really to watch after that. I'm gonna go. There's a couple of lists on here, and I'm gonna go through a couple of them and see maybe if you guys agree with some of them. And I'll pull it up on the screen.
Go ahead. While you're doing that, I'm going to add Bill to the list.
Bill from Tenjo Tenge?
No,
Bill from
Kill Bill.
Bill from Kill Bill. But
yes, he was anime. That was the anime section of that whole movie, and that was Bill.
Okay, technically,
kind of
yeah. Technically, yeah. I guess you could say that. I mean, but was he just villainous? I mean, on the level of some of these other dudes where, I don't know. This list
killed the father, and then gave his sword to his boss so he could basically stab straight through the mother. Bill is enjoyingly villainous in that moment.
Okay,
definitely did do that.
Here's the list, and I'll start it from the top. It's the top 10 most unforgivable villains in manga and anime, according to Oars. It's a list. Sho Tucker, who we already mentioned, is number 10. Diva from Blood Plus, which is Saya's sister. The Major.
That was on my list. Was on my list.
The Major from Hellsing. Good night, baby.
Forgot all about that one.
Yeah. The Major from Hellsing. Naraku from Inuyasha, who we already mentioned. Griffith, who we already mentioned as well, is number 6. Johann Labert from Monster. I haven't watched Monster. They keep saying I want to see Monster. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I heard the manga was really, really good.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
I don't think so. Father from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, who we actually mentioned. Light from Death Note, who we also mentioned. Teach Marshall D from One Piece.
I don't know. You didn't see enough of him yet.
Well, apparently you didn't, but others did.
No, I'm talking about. I watched the shit. I've watched every episode of One Piece up until where I stopped, and he was in it, but they did not. I don't think they even started a story arc with him. He is pretty evil, but I wouldn't even put him on the list yet because they haven't really shown him do anything.
And as a kind of surprise, a number 1 in their list is Frieza.
Frieza's pretty fucking evil, bro.
He is pretty evil, but he's such, I don't know, you can almost think of him as a caricature because Goku's beating the crap out of him.
His whole business is to take over planets and sell them to somebody else. But I'm going to tell you who's even more evil than Frieza. Frost, his counterpart from Universe 6.
Yeah.
He's even worse because he does the same thing, but he pretends that he's a good guy when he's doing it.
Yeah.
Well, he'll set up a war, have them fucking annihilate each other, come in and
then take the spoils.
War,
and take the spoils. That's
and
pretty
then
bad.
take the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's some pretty fucked up shit, bro. That's like walking into your house and then kicking you out of it and then selling it to somebody else.
Yeah, that's true.
I still like Broly over that.
I do too, because Broly's
almost like a force of nature, dude. Because he hates Kakarot that much that he can't control it. It's not something you can. Villains for me is like somebody who controls their fucking villainy.
But he does control his villainy, because look at what he did with the residents of Planet Shamo, or whatever it was.
He blew that fucking thing up.
Yeah, but he chose to do it. It's not like he did it in the midst of a fight. He looked at them and like, hey, you guys look up at your planet and dream about going back there. Well, you know what? Threw a light fireball, a triangle fireball that we all know from Dragon Ball GT. That motherfucker went straight at him, did a dark side U-turn, and went to their planet. He did it on purpose, so that's not force of nature anymore. That was
that is kind of villainous right there in that aspect. I get that.
It was hilarious.
It was, because he threw it at them.
This dude said throw a triangle fireball.
That's what it was.
That's funny.
Now, you know the difference between there's the little light fireball, triangle fireball, versus the big charge up fireball.
Yeah.
That was a light fireball.
That's funny.
You turned it and blew up their planet. It was hilarious. Oh my goodness, that was so funny.
Tuba Titan 12 chimes in and says, anyone say you're Mori from Tokyo Ghoul. Now, Tokyo Ghoul is another series that I kept meaning to watch, and I still haven't watched it yet.
Which one was your Mori? Oh, was that
the one that tortured Kaneki?
So the one they called Jason.
I guess.
Because they called him Jason. That's what I went by. But if that's the one that kept cutting his toes off and letting them grow back, and then cutting them off again. Yeah, that's kind of fucked.
That sounds like some old Attack on Titan garbage.
No, it wasn't Attack on Titan garbage at all. But he was torturing the living shit out of this kid.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't die, but he could feel pain.
I was just making sure Krusty was still awake. That's all, you know.
Oh, I heard it. I just know that you are on a steady diet of haterade. So that's cool.
No,
you mean like you're on a steady diet of haterade for Batman the Animated Series?
No, that's different because Batman the Animated Series is pure garbage.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan is alright.
Pure garbage.
Wait. She's changing her tune. She's changing her tune now.
Batman vs. Superman is pure garbage.
Yeah,
Batman vs. Superman is pure garbage. We're glad you finally agreed.
That's what I said. Batman vs. Superman. Not Batman vs. Superman.
Nope. Too late. You can't. Nope. Can't change it. Nope. Can't take it back.
It's the same thing. Batman is a piece of garbage anyway.
So then, Batman vs. Superman is a piece of garbage then too. Then, right?
Grow up, Batman.
Anyway,
really, with Save Martha as his only defense.
I fell down a hole with bats and I peed myself. Grow up, Batman. Nobody cares.
He did grow up, and he beat the shit out of anybody that opposed him. You're doing crime. I'm gonna break your goddamn phone.
Batman is an advertisement for people to get therapy. That's what happens when you.
He is kind of crazy.
So is emo Superman.
Yeah.
Superman is an alien. That doesn't even count.
Dude,
Batman is rich. He just has to buy his happiness like every other rich person. That's it. I don't even understand why it's a thing.
So anyway, it's about 11 o'clock. It's been a fun conversation, I have to say. We're glad everybody could join us and kind of chime in, and we were happy to entertain you for this hour before kind of wind down and get to bed. Coming up tomorrow is going to be game, and one topic that I wanted to bring up and I wanted to talk about is kind of all the rage of fandom right now. Everybody's talking about the whitewashing in Hollywood as far as it goes towards Asian stereotypes. Of course, we've got the ancient one being cast as Tilda Swinton, and Scarlett Johansson being cast as Motoko Kusanagi. I think it would be a nice topic to debate about tomorrow. So come back and join us tomorrow for that 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sage chimes in, Krusty, and he says Attack on Titan is garbage. Torture porn for script kiddies, he says.
It is fucking garbage.
Okay, first of all, I don't know who you are.
And on that note, we're gonna say goodnight. Just kidding. On that note, we're gonna say goodnight, everybody. We will see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please do invite your friends. Come back and watch the show. Share to Facebook. Let's let the viewership grow, and so everybody can know what kind of an awesome show we are and what we put on. because the more people that we have in the chat, the more fun it is. So for Krusty, for GQ, for the great Dada Kuji, I'm Kashiro. Hasta mañana. Say goodbye, everybody.
I ain't saying good night. Good night.
You ain't saying good night, but you just did.
I did say good night. Good night.
Yeah.
You'll be back.
And gonna burn some muscle.
Attack on Titan is garbage. Crazy.
We're glad you agree. Attack on Titan is garbage.
Crazy.